What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Player Prop Talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this content finds you doing well and in good spirits. Hope your Monday went well. Going to be looking to build out. I don't know how many slips we'll build out today. I guess it just depends on the value. Maybe we won't build out any slips, but we'll definitely go over some value using the odds jam optimizer. I'll be able to take your questions in the chat. We'll use the props.cash tools to dig into some plays to see how they fare up over the last 5 and 10 games, and we'll call it a day. So with that being said, let's just get this going. Hashtag bless, how we start off every single live stream here on the channel. Over 10% of the US population does not wake up. You did. You are hashtag blessed. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward on this one. I don't know what could be better than waking up and being alive other than waking up and playing on BETR. First time deposit match up to 250. That's my QR code. Go ahead and sign up on BETR. If you are on BETR, little limited right now in terms of value, being that it's just baseball right now. But once we start getting our PGA golf props back up on the board, and once NFL is in swing, you'll have tons and tons of plays to choose from over on BETR. Yesterday's promo on BETR, Paul Skeens over 0.5 strikeouts. He obviously goes over this one, finishes the game with 6 strikeouts. So if you took the over on this one, that was the move. BETR usually runs nice promos like this weekly, not daily, but definitely weekly. Great way to build bankroll. Great way to take advantage of just an easy win right there. As I mentioned earlier, we're using the Odds Jam Fantasy Optimizer to help us locate value today. That is my promo code right there on the screen. Get 30% off your first month. You'll get a chance to see the optimizer used today in real time, as well as a chance to take a look at props.cash. If you are not familiar with either of these tools, then stick around. We use them in real time on the stream. But Thanks25 is my promo code on props.cash. Get 25% off your first month. Few different offers to save you some money. What's going on, JR? Good morning, man. Yes, let's rock Taco Tuesday today. Let's do it. Let's head over to, we're going to pull up the Odds Jam Fantasy Optimizer right now. And we're going to put that up on the screen, and we're going to take a look at everything that's available to us. Yesterday's value was really bad, not going to lie. Yesterday's value was really bad. There was not a whole lot going on yesterday. For me personally, it was really hard building out a lot of slips. So I did not build out a lot of slips. I think I built out maybe 4 slips yesterday. Just not any good value. Let's see if today looks any different. Can I look up Olympic basketball stats? I mean, I'm sure we can pull those up. We can't look them up through props.cash, unfortunately, but I'm sure we can use ESPN or another platform to look up Olympic basketball. We do have some. I know we have some Olympic basketball props that we can look at. Thought that was cool that Canada played Australia yesterday. SGA Lou Dort versus Josh Giddey. Thought that was kind of cool. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can use ESPN. Just that might be the easiest one to use. All right, so we got PrizePicks pulled up on the optimizer right now. A little bit more value than there was maybe an hour and a half ago, but yeah, PrizePicks has been struggling in terms of value plays. It's like I've mentioned this in previous streams, but these months, these June, July's, maybe half of August, you're just limited to no sports. Basically, it's baseball and everything else. We don't even have WNBA right now. So it's baseball and esports and just whatever tennis is out there and whatever PGA is out there. That's it. So you just got to grind through it. Bankroll management during these months, super important to not go broke during these slow months. But yeah, esports plays, Nick Batum over 9.5 points. France versus Japan. That is today in about an hour. So if you want to take the over on this Nick Batum, 9.5 points, you can do that. You got enough data points here to like the over. 149, 145, minus 135 at 10.5, and then minus 120 on FanDuel. PrizePicks is giving you this line at 9.5, so it's lower than what they have on BetMGM. Roop under 14, first 3 map kills at 14 is the line on PrizePicks. You have it set to 12.5 on underdog. You would maybe take the over on underdog, take the under on PrizePicks, and do a middle. And you got 13.5 on HOTSTREAK. Yeah, that's a good middling opportunity for this prop. 13.5 on both underdog and HOTSTREAK. PrizePicks has lasers, first 2 map headshots set to 12. So again, another play that's too low on PrizePicks. That's a 3 pick on PrizePicks. Typically, you want 5 and 6 picks. 3 picks only allow you a 5x return. If you're going to play 3 picks, play them on underdog. But those 3 are standing out to me in terms of value on PrizePicks. There you go. If you ran these 3 as a 3 pick, you run it as a power play, don't do flex on a 3 pick. 16% chance to hit over on PrizePicks. Definitely not a plus EV play, but in terms of your chances to hit, looks good. Feel free to add in 2 of your own plays to this 3 pick, make it a 5 pick, but these 3 plays are standing out to me on PrizePicks right now. So they have croissants today, just dropped Wemby points to 17.5. What's up, Mark? Croissants, that's funny. Yesterday, I'm so glad I didn't play that De La Cruz over stolen bases because he got scratched, and then Logan Gilbert got beat up. 6 earned runs in the first 2 innings, I think. 7 earned runs in the first 2 innings. He didn't last 3 innings. I think he got pulled after 2.2. He got roughed up. So we talked about how possibly the demon on his pitching outs. I did not play it. It did look good on paper. We looked at all the numbers and it did look good. It just didn't end up being profitable. It just goes to show you those demon lines are set that way for a reason. You know, very seldomly are you going to get over on the books. They know more than us, so we got to be smart. It did look good. It did look good. I was very close. I couldn't make a 6 pick that I like, so I just held off on it. I'm glad I did. Wemby over 17.5 points. All right. All right. Let's head on over to PrizePicks. Or excuse me, let's head on over to ESPN. I don't even know how to look up. It's not like looking up regular season stats on ESPN. It's all like disheveled. So what we'll do is we'll look at box score, and then we'll just click on Wemby's name and see what we can find out. Last game against Brazil, he finished with 19 points, which would get you over the 17.5. They have him on PrizePicks today with that discount. Yeah, there's no game logs. There's, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if we look up Wemby, will it pull up all his? I mean, honestly, there's not too many games to look at in terms of Olympic, right? We don't care about last season or his career in the Olympics. Really, it's just really this season. I mean, we know what he's done in the NBA. We know what he's done in his professional career. But in terms of Olympic games, yeah, it's just really going to be based off as the games happen, then more stats get recorded. But there's really not a whole lot to go on here. Who are they playing today? Japan? One thing we can do is take a look at Japan's last game and see who the leading scorer was in that game on the other side, and see, you know, how fours and fives did against Japan. So Franz went off. What Franz is a 3. Yeah, Daniel Theis get you 18 points, and you had Franz go for 22. This guy Voigtman. So Daniel Theis got you 18 points. So again, very limited sample size in terms of games, and very limited information here in terms of digging in. But I guess the question you can ask yourself is, if Daniel Theis in 20 minutes went for 18 points, can Wemby go for 18 points? Basically is what we need. Wemby went for 19 in his last game, and Theis went for 18 in this game versus Japan. Both of those scores will get you the over on Wemby's points today. Just based off that very limited info, that one looks like a pretty solid play. So if you want to start your PrizePicks slip off with this Wemby over 17.5 points, we just went with 3. We just found 3 picks that we liked using the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer. So it was Batum over his 9.5 points. And this game starts in about an hour. And it was Laser over first 2 maps and Roop under first 3 maps. Laser over first 2 maps here, and then Roop is a League of Legends. That guy doesn't exist. RUEP, League of Legends. What time did that game start? Did it start already? No. It starts at 10. RUEP, League of Legends. Am I not spelling this dude's name right? Oh, that's why. I thought I clicked League of Legends. I did not. Under. So there's a 4 pick right there. We need 2 more to make this a 6. We need 1 more to make it a 5. But thanks to that Wemby play, we have close to a profitable slip. Let's go back to the optimizer and see if anything has changed. There's Batum. Sugar. Sugar R under 29.5. First two map kills. Underdog has him at 28.5, and HOTSTREAK has him at 27. So you're getting a 1 to 2 kill discrepancy. That one's not bad. Let's see if we can find a more favorable one. We already have Roop in there. We got Laser in there. If we want to get into some of the yellow, we can do that. But we're going to go down pretty far here before we find something that would fit. Sugar R may be the one we go with, just because it offers a plus EV play, and that will give us 5 picks, and we might just need to roll with a 5 pick on that build with Wemby. Nice little correlation with him and Batum. I mean, if we feel that France handles Japan, it correlates well with their overs. Nothing really popping on PrizePicks right now. So let's just go with that. Let's go with Sugar R. Okay. Is it not Sugar R? Is it just sugar? Then am I saying it hood? I don't know. It's all lowercase. I see sugar, and then I just see an R. So I see it as Sugar R. It might just be sugar. So we're going to go under sugar, 29.5 first map. More fun to say Sugar R. Man, I really hate to leave it as a 5 pick, but sometimes you just got to play a 5. If those are the most profitable plays on the board, then you just run it as a 5 pick. I actually think the most we can put on these discount props is $5. So that's what we're going to do. I didn't even pay attention to see if any of these esports plays were on the same team. Hopefully we can send this through, and we can. So that's our first build on the stream. We just built a 5 pick on PrizePicks using the fantasy optimizer on OddsJam. We used the Wembanyama croissant, and we built around him with Batum and 3 other plays in the esports category. Let's head over to Underdog. Let's see what's popping on Underdog. All right, so here's another right off the bat. We got Jokic over 27.5 points and rebounds. FanDuel has him set to 30.5. HOTSTREAK has him set to 29.5. You have 2 data points with actual lines. We have to scroll down until we find another play with multiple data points. I like those more than just the single data point lines. Carlick Jones over 23.5 points and assists. South Sudan versus USA. And that's tomorrow at 2. Drew Holiday over 11 points and rebounds. This is on underdog now. That one looks solid because you're getting 2 higher lines on BetMGM and HOTSTREAK. I think this one got bumped. Did this one get bumped from 10.5 to 11? An underdog, we can build out a 5 or 6. You can get away with a 3 pick because underdog does offer a 6x on 3 pick power plays or uninsured plays, but you don't have to always build out a 6 pick. Gavin Williams under 2 earned runs has push potential. Drop over 27.5. Let's keep scrolling. Fantasy score here for Vladdy over 6.5. Wow, his lines were at 8, 8.5. They've been bumped down to 6.5. There's 2 picks on underdog so far. D1 Letties. The Letties. Over 18 first 2 map headshots. This game starts in about 35 minutes. You do have 2 data points, 20.5, 18.5. I would play the under on HOTSTREAK. This is giving you the best line in terms of odds to hit. I don't really like that one. Zock. So now we're getting into the yellows. Nolan Gorman under total bases at 0.5. So not seeing a ton of value over on underdog, unfortunately. Not even seeing enough to build out a slip. Under on Seager total bases. Lance Lynn under hits allowed. Man, they have Lance Lynn really having a good game against this Texas lineup. Under 5 hits allowed. It's kind of low. Trey Turner under total bases. Now this one is not a green square. Alex 666 under 29.5. First 2 map kills. You do have 3 different points, all at 30.5. I think this one got bumped up from 28.5 to 29, or the other books dropped their lines, but I felt like there was a stronger discrepancy there. 27, 26, 26. Invisible. That one might be worth playing. And then the Santander. I like this one. I did play it on BETR today. And it's the same line on PrizePicks. I do like that one for Santander. Bogdanovich, this game is tomorrow. Over 16.5 points. Serbia versus Puerto Rico. Man, every book has his line at 17.5 or 17, and underdog is giving it to you at 16.5. It's possible that this line that his points on underdog gets moved up to 17, or maybe that play just gets taken off the board. By the time this game approaches tip-off tomorrow morning, it's possible we see line movement. So if you like these plays, you know, it is smart to lock them in. Jonathan Cannon under 6.5 hits allowed. How many plays do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jonathan Cannon under hits allowed. Chicago versus 28, 29, 30. Nah. As we get deeper and deeper into the optimizer, the lines get tighter and tighter. They're not as good. At least I don't think they're as good. One, two, three, four, 5 data points for this Leody Taveras under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We saw Lance Lynn under 5 hits allowed. We got Cody Seager under total bases. You also have Leody Taveras under total bases. There are a lot of Texas Rangers being listed for the under here. It might be worth to take a look at Lance Lynn as you see more Rangers listed. It's interesting because Lance Lynn really isn't that good of a pitcher. JR says, Gunnar over 2.5 total bases. I like him for a home run today. If you like Gunnar for a home run, are you playing, what is it called? Dinger Tuesday on FanDuel? Also on BETR, if you aren't on BETR, you could look to sign up, but also once you sign up, Gunnar Henderson does not have a home run prop on BETR. Usually when a player doesn't have a home run prop up, it's because there's a likelihood that it happens. Remember, most of these lines, if not all these lines, are set up for us to lose. Pick'em sites outside of promos, pick'em sites don't give us a lot of lines that are going to make us money. That's why we have to do the work and the research to build out slips. So when we don't see a line up, it might be for a reason. So what I'm going to do today is build out this underdog slip on my phone, and then I'll throw the link in the chat. It's much faster that way. Let's take a look at this Lance Lynn play first, because we're seeing a lot of Texas Rangers with unders today. They got Lance Lynn going over 4.5 hits at minus 169, but when his hits got bumped up to 5, it went to the under. I don't really understand that one. BetMGM has the under 5.5 at 160. So that lands right at 5, right? So I wouldn't play the 5 hits allowed for him. BVP versus Lance Lynn. You have Simeon, who in 26 plate appearances, 333 batting average, 27% strikeout rate. Seager's 0 for 6, 67% of the time he's striking out. Adolis Garcia is 0 for 3, struck out once. Jonah Heim is 0 for 5 with a 20% K rate. And then Leody Taveras under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He has 3 plate appearances against Lance Lynn, and he has 3 strikeouts. So the Texas Rangers as a whole have not really hit Lance Lynn all that well. Let's take a look at Gunnar Henderson's home run prop today. Minus 1,000 to go under, plus 500 to go over. What did you say, JR? 2.5 total bases for Gunnar? That's on underdog? No, on underdog it's 1.5, but it's reduced to a 0.85 payout. So that tells you that it's likely he goes over. So they're going to go ahead and make it a goblin, basically, giving you less money. Also on his hits, runs, and RBIs, it's also reduced. Well, actually, no. His hits, runs, and RBIs is reduced to 0.85. His total bases is actually a boost to 1.05. So if you think he goes over 2.5 total bases, you might want to play the over on total bases on underdog because they're giving you more money. But let's look at these two plays real quick. Which one looks better? His hits, runs, and RBIs, minus 165 to go over. He's projected for 2.15. There's an RBI. There's a run. And then there's a walk. And then he can't get an RBI without getting a hit. you would assume, unless he hits a sack fly. So 0.9, that's one hit. Even though they have him going under his hits at 1.5, it still doesn't mean he can't get you one hit. So if he gets you a single, that's 3 points. 2 for the RBI, that's 5. 2 for the run, that's 7. 2 for the walk, that's 9. That's 9 fantasy points. You could play the over on his fantasy points on underdog at 8.5. You could play the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs, though it's capped on underdog. You can play the over on his run prop on underdog based off these numbers. If he's projected to score a run, he's got decent odds. Not really. They're okay. They're not bad. They're not great. Yeah, a lot of his plays on underdog aren't really worth playing unless you want to go with his fantasy score. Vladdy Guerrero, I want to same game. Let's take a look at his number because past 5 games he's been raking. Now he went off in his last game against Baltimore. Got a home run, 3 doubles. Ten total bases. He obviously went way over his fantasy score, but today's fantasy score is set to 6.5 on underdog. We were seeing it at 8. Oh, it's 7.5 now. It got bumped up. It got bumped up. So that one is not as appealing. But numbers today, numbers versus Corbin Burns. He has 3 singles, 3 for 10. On the year, he's hitting righties at a 309 batting average with 16 homers. Hits lefties a little bit better. Corbin Burns versus right-handed bats allowed 11 home runs, keeping the batting average a little low. It's a little tougher matchup for Vladimir Guerrero. That's why his fantasy score is being bumped down. I'm gonna build this out on my phone while we're looking at everything because a lot of plays changed. So we like some of these unders on the Rangers. Tremont Waters under 29.5 points and assists. If you want to play some of these Olympic basketball plays, here's one for you. Tremont Waters under. Did you know he's Puerto Rican? I did not know he's Puerto Rican. 21.5 points and assist. 19.5 on BETR. Drew Holiday is still up there. We like this Drew Holiday play, so we're going to go ahead and put that one in there as our first play, over 11. Points and rebounds. Yeah, and then after this play right here, we get thrown into the yellow. Man, I almost don't want to build out a slip on underdog, to be honest with you, just because we don't have enough plus EV. 20.5 on HOTSTREAK, 18.5 on PrizePicks. Yeah, there's honestly just not enough on the underdog that I like. This Drew Holiday play was looking good. It is looking good. Maybe a 3-pick. Maybe a 3-pick on the underdog. David Festa. I have no idea who that is. No idea, but he's projected to go under 2.5 earned runs. You don't have to know who a player is to play their line. I've never heard of that guy before, though. Yeah. This is not a lot, man. I don't really like any of this stuff. Let's see what better looks like. We can always go back to PrizePicks and try to build out another slip on PrizePicks, but I'm not really feeling underdog right now. I did build out a couple of slips on underdog late last night. A lot of that value is not on the board anymore. So I'm sure in a few hours it'll change. Gunner has become unbettable since All-Star break. That's only one line PrizePicks had that equals him hitting home run, if that makes sense. Yeah. The 3.5 total bases. Yeah. So Batum just got bumped up to 10. So that PrizePicks slip that we built out, the link that I posted in the chat, that Batum got bumped up to 10. So now he needs 11 points to go over. That's how fast shit changes. All right. Yeah, 2.5 total bases equals the home run. Since this slip is done, I'm gonna take Batum out, and I'm just gonna play around with this with these demon plays a little bit. So 2.5 total bases. Obviously, if Gunnar Henderson hits a home run today, he goes over this. If you add that to this slip, it bumps your 10x to a 19x. If he gets a double, wow. So he actually will get more. You'll actually get a better payout if you go with his double demon play versus total bases. I guess it's more difficult to hit a home run than it is to get three total, or more difficult to hit a double than it is to get 3 total bases. I mean, unless he hits a triple or a home run, he has to get multiple hits to get this over. I would think that's more difficult. But that's a good payout boost for you. 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We have them going for 3 on props.cash. Scoring a run, getting an RBI, and getting a single. There's your 3 hits, runs, and RBIs. If Gunnar Henderson hits a home run, then he definitely goes over this. I think what's going on here is, even though this is a demon play, this is more likely to happen. These two are more likely to happen. So they're actually reducing the demon lines. You notice that he does not have a home run prop up here because we think that it's likely to happen. So PrizePicks does not want to give you any play that they're going to lose money on, basically. So it's possible he goes out there and hits a home run and that's it. And that's a good thing, but no double, no triple, no single, right? So you go with the over on his double because it offers the higher payout, but it's also more risky. It's just weird sometimes how player props are put on the board, but these two are not getting you the highest payout. I feel like that's because they're more likely to hit. You could go with the safer option and just go with the over on his fantasy score, because if he gets you a home run, he goes over fantasy score. If he gets you 3 hits, runs, and RBIs, he gets you 7 at 7 fantasy points. He would need a walk. Well, actually, no. If Gunnar Henderson got you a hit, run, and RBI, but that hit was a double, then he'd go over. So there are ways for him to go over this without hitting a home run. But I guess the safest out of all of these would be his goblins, and then fantasy, then these 2 demons, and then the riskier of all those demon plays are his doubles. That's the risky one. But those are a few different ways you can build out a slip using his demon plays. What's up, Jim? Good seeing you, man. We just built out a PrizePicks slip. We're trying to build out an underdog slip, but the value is really not there, to be honest. I wish it were. I shouldn't say the value isn't there. There's plenty of plays on the board, but for what I like seeing more than one data point. And we can go with this Jokic play. It's not until tomorrow. So if you're cool with waiting on your slip to finish, it's early tomorrow, 10:15 in the morning. So you don't have to wait too long. So that one's in play. Let's start off a slip with that one. That's the highest EV play on the board. It's going to help our slip out. And when if we have to drop down into the yellows, it'll still grade out well. Look how far we have to go down here. There's Drew Holiday. So those 2 plays right there. Again, we can finish this slip. I mean, we can create a 3-pick. We don't have to do 5 or 6. That might be the best thing to do, is go with a 3-pick, because I'd rather go with 3 strong plays than 6 plays that consist of 3 iffy plays and 3 strong plays. The next line that we have, Gavin Williams under 5.5 strikeouts versus the Detroit Tigers. Detroit kind of sucks. Jabby under 30.5 first 2 map kills, 28.5, 29.5, and 30. It's the highest line out there right now. It's higher than these 3 books. It is in play. Royce Lewis. Man, let's look at this Anthony Santander. Over hits, runs, and RBIs. Or was it total bases? No, it's hits, runs, and RBIs. Okay, 3 out of his last 5 games, he's gone over this. He's averaging almost 3 in those games. He's averaging almost 3 in his last 10. Head-to-head matchup with the Toronto Blue Jays. Historically, has done really well against this team. So he just needs a single and an RBI or a run, basically a combination of that. A home run gets it done. He's projected for a run and an RBI and a hit. So that's a 3. That's 3. Home run today, 390 over, minus 650 odds. There's a shot that he can go yard. Numbers against Chris Bassett. No home runs and 9 plate appearances. He does have a double and a single. So, yeah, if he were to get you 2 hits today, that would get the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs. Not historically, but numbers against righties in general. Santander batting .247 with a 17% strikeout rate, which is kind of low. So that tells you that he's putting the ball in play. Yeah. I mean, I like that one, even though it's not a green square. I still like that one. I think this Jokic just got bumped up. Damn. No, it's at 28. 28 points and rebounds. Higher. And then Santander. Over hits, runs, and RBIs. So there's a 3-pick for you right there. Playing these 3 plays, it's not the most plus EV play, but 16% chance for this to hit. You got Jokic going over. You got Holiday going over. You got Santander going over. And we're reaching here. We're reaching here on underdog, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot of value right now to look at. What about BETR? Let's see. BETR's a little tricky. Sometimes you don't have a lot of green squares. You do look at data points and try to figure out how many books are taking action on a play. The more, the better. The more data points you have, the more supported you are with that play. Lance Lynn under 4.5 strikeouts. So you got a lot of Rangers not doing well on paper versus him, but he's not set up to go out there and have a big strikeout day. So under 4.5, 4 strikeouts is more likely to happen than 5. Then you got JP Sears going over his strikeout prop. A lot of data points on that one. Gavin Williams, there's another under on his strikeout. So this is the second time we've seen Gavin Williams on the under with his strikeouts against the Detroit Tigers. Griffin Canning under 2.5 earned runs versus the Rockies. This game is not in Coors Field. This game is in Anaheim. Is it Anaheim? That's where they play. Spencer Steer. Mike Toglia over 0.5 hits. It's kind of negative correlation to go over and then over on his hits and then under on Canning's earned runs. Teoscar over his 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Langoliers under 1.5 hit runs, RBIs. You got Robles. This Robles play looks pretty good. 53.5% chance to hit, -115 odds on OddsJam. So it's about 6 points below where we wanted at that 121. All those data points. What if we... So here on OddsJam, you can see all the different slip formats you have, and OddsJam is going to just let you know basically what is the most profitable in terms of average odds. So 5-man is going to offer you the best odds in terms of plus EV slip. You only need to average -121 odds per player. If you went with a 2-pick or a 3-pick, you can see that it's heavily increased. If you went to a 6, it's also -121, but I already told you that the 6-pick on BETR is not as profitable. It's only a 20x and a 1.5x payout. If you went to a 7-man, you could look to a 7-man. That's -128 odds. 8-man insured, -126. So these are closer to where we want, but out of all these different slip types, the 5-man insured is going to offer you the best. So that's why we stick with that one. All right, let's go back to PrizePicks before we get out of here to see if there's anything that has changed on PrizePicks. It's the way it is today. We got Taco Tuesday, but even with the tacos, you still need 4 to 5 other plays to build out a full slip. You could just play the taco with one other play, but it's only a $5 max. So $5 max on the taco, you play it in a 2-pick, you'll win $15. I know something's better than nothing, but in terms of just upside, there's more upside in a 5 pick. If you get 4 out of 5, that's $10. I know it's not more than 15, but you're playing for 50 at that point, or you're playing for 125. PrizePicks was losing a lot of money on those tacos, giving you that $25 max. They're losing a lot of money on that. All right, so we have sugar and root. We already got these in a slip. We already put those in a slip. Our first slip that we built out using the Wimby croissant, we had sugar or sugar R. We had root. Man, this Gavin Williams play is staring me right in the face. Under 5.5 strikeouts. I gotta look. All right. Detroit is striking out at a 24% rate versus right-handed pitching. That is top 10 worst in the MLB. Gavin Williams coming off a 9 strikeout game versus Detroit back on the 25th, so less than a week ago. In his last 5 games, he was 0 for 4 before that game against Detroit. So Detroit was that slump breaker for him. In his last 10 games, Texas and Detroit were the only 2 teams where he's gone over 5. He's pushed. This one's going to get bumped down to 5 at some point. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books on props.cash that like the under on this one. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books on OddsJam that like the under on Gavin Williams strikeouts. That one looks a lot better than I thought it would be. Prop.cash. So unless you've played the Wimby play, we're going to have to build out a second slip without him. If you have not played the Wimbignana croissant, you can basically add him to this, and that gives you a 4 pick. And from there, you need to find 1 or 2 more. I mean, literally, you can just play the slip that we put in the chat. You can literally just play these 4 with Wimby if you haven't played the croissant yet. Laser over, Williams under, Roop under, Sugar under, plus the Wimby square. That's 5 plays. If you want to make it a 6 pick, you're going to have to find a second play. Jeffrey Springs over strikeouts. Jeffrey Springs over strikeouts today versus the Tampa Bay Rays. He is projected for 6 strikeouts, minus 210 to go over 4.5. His line's been bumped up to 5. So we'll go up to 5. So when we do that, basically you're looking at a 86% hit rate in his last 10. And then you're looking at a it's not 100% hit rate. It is 100% hit rate. It's 3. What happens is any push, those games get taken out of the game logs. So that leaves you with 3. And in those 3 games, he's over in those 3 games. So numbers against the Marlins, numbers against the Rays, limited exposure to this team. He only has 1 strikeout. He must have just seen him in relief duty. Lefties versus Tampa. Got some pretty high strikeout rates in there. And we can also take a look at what the last 5-10 lefties have done against Tampa. Peterson goes under. Minaya gets rocked. Lodolo doesn't even touch that 8.5 strikeout line. 10 for Framber. 9 for Sanchez. 11 for Raggins. Man, a lot of these guys are I mean, a lot of these guys are pushing double-digit strikeouts. Some of these guys aren't even coming close, but it shows you that on any given day, these Rays can really, I mean, they can really get up there and stink it up. So this Jeffrey Springs play, over his strikeouts, he needs 6. If he gets you 5, it's a push. So you can literally roll with this Springs, Laser, Williams, Roop, Sugar, and then add the Wemby square in there, and that gives you a 6. That gives you a 6 pick. We already played Sugar, we already played Roop, and we already played Laser in our first build. I typically don't like to replay. I don't like to play the same plays in multiple slips. I like to diversify my slips a little bit more. But if it's your first time building out this slip, again, you can do this. Or you can just go to the chat, copy and paste that link in your in a new tab, take out Batum, and then you'll add in Gavin Williams and Jeffrey Springs and Wemby. So you'll have Wemby, Gavin, Springs, Laser, Roop, and Sugar. There you go. There's your 6 pick right there. This one, in terms of plus EV, is a 2.28% plus EV, and it is a 4.85 chance to hit. I might just have to play this now that I'm thinking about it. Because I really wanted to build out a 6 pick the first time. I just didn't. I guess I should have looked at the Jeffrey Springs sooner. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right. So we built out a PrizePicks slip. Kind of built out 2 PrizePicks slips. Over on the Underdog, honestly, I just didn't see a whole lot that I like today. I'm not going to force any slips, but from just an individual play standpoint, I'll give you a few plays that you can put into your slip. If you already have 1 or 2 plays that you like, I'll give you a few plays that'll hopefully help you build out a slip. Jokic over his points and rebounds, sitting at 28. You got Hunter Brown under fantasy score. We did not look at that one, but that's a newer one. You can look to that one. This is on Underdog. Max Scherzer under his pitcher fantasy score at 30.5. I think they took away the Drew Holiday play. Drew Holiday over 11 points and rebounds was another one, but I don't see it, so they must have removed it. Yeah. They either removed it or it got bumped, and now it's no longer a green square. So you got those 2 plays. This Santander over hits, runs, and RBIs. I like that one. The numbers are good. His game logs are good. He doesn't have any runs or RBIs today versus Bassett, but he does have 2 hits versus Bassett. He's been raking. So this 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is in play. Jokic over points and rebounds. Those are 2 plays for you. Again, you could take a shot on these pitcher fantasy scores. Hunter Brown under fantasy and Max Scherzer under fantasy. Yeah. And that's really the last play before you get into the red, which we don't really like to go into the red too often. Yeah, Santander, Jokic, those are my top 2 plays over on underdog. And we're not playing this shit anymore. So I don't know if you were following along the second potential slip that we were building out on PrizePicks. But the laser play got bumped up, Jeffrey Springs got bumped up, and Gavin Williams got bumped down. So making it harder for him to go under. Now Jeffrey Springs needs 6 strikeouts, and then the laser play got bumped up. So if you were building that out as I was breaking it down and you got that slip in, if you didn't, then can't play it anymore. So that is the nature of player props. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's stream. We didn't build out too much today. Value's just not there. It's only 10 a.m., so it's possible that value opens up in the afternoon. Hopefully enough value opens up in the afternoon for my short. I did not do a YouTube short yesterday because I didn't want to throw shitty picks out there. So hopefully I have a little bit more to work with in the afternoon and I can put a short out there. But I'd rather not put a short than put a short with just 3 low percentage plays. Doesn't really help anybody at all. So we only have a few more weeks of this whole dog day of summer before we have more sports to work with. But until we do, I say manage your bankroll properly. Don't feel forced to play any plays, or maybe just take a day off. Player props aren't going anywhere. I guarantee you, whatever play that you see today that you have to put in a slip, there will be another one like that in a couple of hours. There'll be another one like that every other day for the rest of the year. I promise that. So don't feel too forced to play anything. That's going to do it for today's live stream. Appreciate y'all being here today. Hit that like button on your way out. Consider subbing up to the channel and make sure that notification icon is clicked so you don't miss out on future content. I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I have to think about that one. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning with another player prop talk live stream. Hopefully our 5 pick hits on PrizePicks. If you were able to get that 6 pick in on PrizePicks, hopefully that hits for you as well. Be on the lookout for my YouTube short this afternoon. And until tomorrow's player prop talk live stream, Chavez is out.